We badly need to destigmatize mental illness, particularly among men, but, and this is important, we need to destigmatize it so they will get help. I feel like this is a huge source of confusion. When we talk about removing the stigma around mental illness or around addiction or around any kind of destructive behaviors, destigmatizing does not mean telling the person you're just fine the way you are. That would be incredibly cruel. The message was always supposed to be that trauma or depression or anxiety or addiction, those things are not your fault, but fixing them and managing them is your responsibility. That the problem we've been trying to address over the last couple of generations of removing stigma around certain things is that there is, to this day, a lot of men out there who will not seek treatment for these things because of the stigma. So instead of getting better, they continue to just make it everybody else's problem. They will get fired from jobs and get divorced and abuse their kids. Where the idea of removing the stigma around it is to let them say, okay, I admit I have this problem. Having the problem is not shameful. Now I can go and try to get better. Not to say all of your behaviors are excused because of course you have this and therefore it's not your fault. If you have the opportunity to get better and you choose not to, then it becomes your fault. I bring this up because there's this very weird phenomenon these days where all of the most popular figures who appeal to young men giving self-improvement advice tend to be right-wing in their politics. And I think it's because there's a culture on the left of not wanting to tell people that they can improve their lives as individuals because that comes off as stigmatizing everybody who doesn't. But destigmatizing a disorder or a condition was never about refusing treatment for it, especially if the people around you are suffering because of it. And I think every single person watching this can agree that it would be crazy to surrender the entire concept of individual self-improvement to one side of the political spectrum. That if there's a young man out there who says, I need to overcome my anxiety, I need to overcome my fear of talking to people, that I need to improve my physical fitness, I need to improve my mental health, I need to improve my financial situation, that the only voices out there telling them how to do that are saying, okay, here's all that advice. Also, climate change isn't real. Everyone, regardless of their politics, agrees that there is such a thing as bad decisions and laziness and destructive habits and irresponsibility. Because even if we lived in a socialist utopia, that would still be true.